Was that a cat?
That was a cat.
Welcome back, cat. Welcome back to the daily grind. For those of you who can't see, and I know none of you could because it was before we started, there was a cat on the screen with my guy Daniel Greer who's joining me. How are you, buddy? How's that cat?
I'm good, man. The cat is gone. I don't know
Where'd he
what
go?
happened. Who knows? They run the roost, as they say. But listen, I'm excited to be back here. I haven't been back here in a hot minute, and so
Yeah.
I have a full 24 hours of being on a camera on a microphone,
Yeah.
and so I have another show that comes on at 9 o'clock Central, the
Oh.
betting show that I do, and so it's gonna be a fun week.
A quick question. This has nothing to do with anything we're going to talk about. Did the situation at the PGA, the Scotty Scheffler, did that affect your betting at all? Like, I was just curious. Like, who was your favorite going in? Because I don't know a lot of people that bet on golf, and I wanted to talk to you about that because I know he's the number one in the world.
Yeah. So anything, if it's at, let's just say plus 400 to win a golf tournament, don't bet it. That's the dumbest bet you could ever do because that's so hard to bet on golf.
Yeah.
I did not bet on him. I actually bet on Bryson DeChambeau.
Oh yeah.
But my bet was to include like if Xander Schauffele, Scotty Scheffler, or Rory or somebody else, whatever, if out of all of them you exclude them, the next best player is Bryson DeChambeau. I got it for plus 2,200. I hit big. I think it was like 20 to win. What I don't know what it was. It was a good day for me.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, did you bet on the game last night? Speaking of good days, it was a good day for Boston last night.
Yeah, I the only thing I bet on was Miles Turner over 15.5 points. It was a first half cash. So
damn,
we're looking to do it again tonight with Kyrie over 20.
What you got tonight?
21.5 points for Kyrie Irving and Derek Lively over 7.5 rebounds and assists. Well, there's Cat.
Oh, Cat.
She's back.
Yeah.
The big purr is in the back.
The big purr. Did you watch last night's game?
I did. Last night was crazy. We actually did it live on so we picked up right about the fourth quarter. Grizzly won at the fourth quarter. And it was craziness because we literally wrote Boston off in that game going down the stretch, we're like, dude, Indiana's gonna pull us out. And then we're reacting to it live as we're trying to talk through whatever, like a cat walking in the background. That's what it seemed to me. Like we're trying to talk through all this. And like we're both watching the game out of the corner of our eye. And it was craziness and just coaching malpractice in a sense.
Yes, the last what 2 minutes? I would say maybe 5. Yeah. The last 2 minutes was the most absurd. I like Rick Carlisle, but I think he gets a pass for a lot of stuff because of the pedigree he brings and like that kind of stuff. It's like, what are you doing? I just don't know.
Yeah, like, but I get like whatever. I get what you're saying, but I also understand like things happen. And sometimes you screw up and that's okay because players do it all the time. Coaches do it all the time. But like, I don't think that's you can't indict the guy for being a good coach or bad coach for this one game. I think overall he's been a good coach, but there's so many scenarios that you could bring in that last 2 minutes of the game in general that would have helped them, and they didn't do any of them, like not fouling when you're up with 5 or 6 seconds to go. All they need is 3. I think little things like that, using your timeout would have been big. There's so many things that you could have done to help your team win, but also it's the flow of the game. You have to trust your guys, and they just didn't.
Well, I mean, if we're pointing the finger, if I'm pointing the finger at Rick Carlisle, I need to turn around and point the finger right at Halliburton in that last 2 minutes because that ridiculous that like 3 that he took, that I would call that an ill-advised shot.
Yeah.
I would call that an ill-advised shot, and then dribbling off his knee, just like a back, like pretty uncharacteristic after what we'd seen in the game that far.
Yeah,
I very characteristic with what we've come to expect him this postseason. I would say, he's been erratic at best, but last night was the game where you really needed him to not be that, and he was the opposite because they got everything else from their dudes.
Yeah,
I thought tonight was going to be like a 40 point blowout or something. I didn't I thought the next game would be the one that, Boston traditionally drops one at home, and I thought it was going to be game 2, but I think that might have been their game, man. Like, it's because the more the series goes on, do you think they need? Let me backpedal. Do you think they need Porzingis to win, Boston?
To win the championship, yes.
Oh,
To win this series, no.
Okay,
no.
I think that's I think they won't win the championship without him. I think they can win this series. They won't sweep.
No.
I mean, this is going to be a tougher series than I thought.
Well, you got to think like a team that wants to run up and down fits to what Boston likes to do is just get out front and throw up some threes.
Yeah.
Both teams are going to live and die with, kind of a up tempo, and then the Boston with their threes. If Indiana's shooting hot, dude, they're going to win a game. They're also going to shoot terribly one game. So, they're going to shoot bad one game. They're going to shoot good one game. So that's one loss and that's one win. If they can somehow figure out another game that they can kind of, get through the mud, and they'll win another game. So that's 2 wins. I think this goes 6 just because they have been really good at home and Boston has been terrible at home. Yeah. So something's got to shake out. We've already seen it. That might be the scare that Boston needed. But Boston getting out of that and goes, all right, we're better. We're better than that. We can play better. And then Indiana's kicking themselves and foaming at the mouth. So like next game, I think is a tell all of like, does Indiana just shut down and they just and Boston shows up and shows out, and that's where the series is going. Like it's going to be a dominated series by Boston. You're going to see a win somewhere. They'll split probably in Indiana, so it won't be a sweep. But if the Pacers show back up here in game 2, then I think game 3 and 4 are for the taking for sure for the Pacers because they play well at home for sure.
Yeah, I agree. If they win game 2 tomorrow and say that's the game where everything falls, right, then they'll eventually we're due for the Super Bowl of this round, which is the Peyton Pritchard TJ McConnell matchup. and it was highlighted last night. Don't act like it wasn't. I saw it. I was like, yeah. And I looked at jerseys. I looked at TJ McConnell jerseys just because I was a little bored. I'm not going to get one. A little expensive. But TJ McConnell's going to win him a game. He's going to win him one game. And so that's what, 2-2? And then it's a crapshoot.
Yeah, I would be shocked if they come back to Boston game 5 and it's 2-2. I would be shocked.
Yeah, I would too. I think the most likely scenario is they come back to Boston 3-1, and then they probably close it out in game 5.
I honestly think if that was the case, game 5, I really think the Pacers win that one. And then they win game 6. They win game 6 at Boston wins game 6 at Indiana. That's what I would look at, just because Boston has shown that they don't care that much and they kind of play with their food, and they think they're good. They know they're good. They kind of they're front runners. Like Jason Tatum has always been a front runner. When things get a little murky, things get a little tough, you get in the backwood, like the back alley. He's like, yeah. I kind of want to be out in the front of the parade. Like I'm not trying to be in the middle of all this like muck. So yeah, I think that him being more of that type of player, he's been like that since Duke, man. And I think that he is a great player, but I don't think he can actually take over a game like we all wish he would. I think that's all a wish that we all have been wanting forever.
I think he's routinely going to be like 5th best dude in the league. Like, like he's not. Jaylen Brown even said it best, I think, in the presser last night. He said, "Oh yeah, Jason finally got going," and it's like that's how I think we all feel. It's like, yeah, when he finally gets going, he's pretty darn good. But I think he might think he's a bit better than he is.
Yeah.
Based on some of the shot selection he chooses, I think he shoots 3 too much. So I mean, I don't know. He's really, 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 really good.
Yes.
But I just don't. He doesn't have that put your foot on someone's throat and just push, like when you need to take over the game. And that's what Boston could sweep this series if he did that. Like
100%.
Like 100%. There's not TJ McConnell. The McConnell sense would be stopped if that was happening. And I just, as good as TJ McConnell is, I think Jason Tatum's better. And it's a shame that he doesn't get that killer in him, because he could be top 3, maybe. I mean, he's got all the tools, the bags there. It's just he just doesn't seem to have that dog, silly as that sounds, the dog part in him.
For sure. All right, before we move on to Gigi, though, I want to ask one question.
Yeah.
Last night in that game, who was the best player on the court?
Other than TJ McConnell?
Other than TJ McConnell?
Probably Brown. I would say Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that goes to show that Brown has been the best player on the court way too much for this Boston team. And I think that's what you come to. And people can say, well, that means that they're a dynamic team. I agree. They are dynamic. That also means that your best player isn't your best player. So that is worrisome. So that's where I kind of stand.
Yeah, that's a good. We're gonna leave it at that. That's a good place to leave it because I also think my cats are killing each other right now. We're gonna take a quick. Jesus Christ, we're gonna take a quick break, and after this, we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about Gigi's recent All-Rookie team selection right after this.
Not just the level of individual talent that he plays with, but it's also the level of his mind. We haven't gotten cross-court open shot this year. Right. We haven't seen that pass a lot. Number one, you got to respect him going to the basket. There's a roller. I got to watch the roller. He has the mind to be able to say, I see all of that, and now I see this guy over here. I'm going to get him this open shot. How shifty he is to always be going forward. It's usually side to side. Yeah. His dribble moves are side to side, but going forward. Right. Which is very hard to defend. I just want to get you, as many times can I get you to do this? But for him, it's not here. It is here, which is are his moves to get down the floor. It's awkward for a defender to try to catch a cadence. You dribble. So now what I do is when you go put that ball down, I'm going for it. But with him, it's hard for my cadence. But what's my cadence for you? I don't know what it is.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Who do you need to step it up? Outside of David Jones, I think David Jones is David Jones.
I don't think you need him to step it up because he's been performing.
Yeah, he's David Jones. Outside of him, he's fine.
I think Quinterly needs to play better.
In what way? He's facilitating the ball well. What do you, I don't...
To a 12 from the field's not cutting it.
It's not great. It's not great.
And I don't need a runner 3 from the top of the key with 3.5 seconds left.
Is Virginia the game where Jordan Brown is going to cook? Those dudes aren't looking to run the ball.
Cook what? Dude, I thought he was going to have a freaking night. He came out with that fresh cut, lined up. And then literally within the first 15 seconds, missed a wide open layup. And then picked up 2 fouls right away.
I feel real lied to because I thought we were getting a 20 and 10 guy.
Didn't think it did anything for you.
Well, I think
we all thought we were getting a 20 and 10 guy. And we are getting that in David Jones.
I'm not even getting 20 or 10 minutes out of the guy.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back. An update on the cat fight. One of them is dead. Please don't tell Kyla. Don't tell her. I put him under the couch. You can catch that show as well as the Grizz 901 at 901. Is that the new name? The temporary name?
No, it's just at 901. That's the time that we're on Tuesdays. So
you go, no, it's not.
Listen, Nate was like, all right, could we change the time to make it work in our schedule better? And I'm like, yeah, let's go later, maybe 8. I'm fine with 9 if we even wanted to. And he was like, well, what about at 9:01? Because we're Grizz 9:01. So we literally just start the show at 9 o'clock and literally have an intro of a minute and a half. So it starts around 9:01.
It's wicked smart. Wicked smart. You can catch that show and all the other shows, Night Court. That's the new one. All of them over at bluffcitymedia.co. I've said it today. I'll say it again. I don't know what happens when you put the M on the end. Just don't do it.
Bad thing.
Dude, the internet's wild.
Murder.
Murder. That's what the M is for.
Yes.
I get Oh my God. All right. But in the interim before the murder, Grizz news, we got some Grizz news that's positive. Gigi Jackson was selected to an all rookie team, second team, I believe. He was the only second round pick, I believe, as well, that got the designation. Probably pretty awesome. Well, I mean, it's the Grizzlies have kind of had a knack for this. I feel like we've had, I mean, take away last year and maybe the year before that, I think we've done a good job with drafting where we get someone in these all rookie classes at least. What do you think it means? I mean, how about this? Where do you think GG fits next year?
In the whole scope of the league or just the team?
I want you to tell me exactly where you think he's ranked player by player in the entire league. No, give me the team. What's his role on the team next year? Where is he? Where is he on the rotation?
Yeah. So all in the NBA, I really do think he is coming up as a big name. I think he's shown that. But on this team, I think we're another year away from him being a starter for sure. Just because his game is so immature, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in the simple way of he's going to make dumb things and he's going to make dumb decisions because the dude isn't. I don't think he's 20 yet, or if he is, he might be just 20. Yeah, he's young, and so because of that, you're going to make dumb decisions, and your season's going to be a roller coaster. I don't know if anybody knows this, but like he is a young kid. Young kids make dumb decisions, but also like their games are going to peak, and his game is going to peak higher than most. But honestly, the valley will come, and he's got to figure out how to get through the valley, and he's going to be on the chalkboard of, hey, this guy, we need to watch out because he's athletic. He can shoot the ball. He can also defend at the rim on the backside. He can do all these things. So he's going to be on the chalkboard of paying attention to by other coaches. And so when you have that, I think that you're going to have to adjust your game, such as Ja had to do, right? Whenever they took away his dribble drive a little bit, and then they made him shoot the ball more, and then now he has to pull up more. And so you're going to have to make adjustments. But all in all, the dude is going to be the first, if not one of the second players off the bench for sure.
Yeah, I think the fact that he isn't even 20 years old yet is astounding because you got to think a lot of these his decision making still hasn't scientifically fully developed yet because his brain is still developing. Once that happens, like once he actually matures, gotta sound like I'm talking about a child. Once he actually matures physically, he will be, assuming he stays on this sort of trajectory, he's going to, the valleys will diminish. They will get less and less and less because he's shown the peaks are already that good. And the Ja comp's a good one because when people got all that film on Ja, and people are going to have a lot of film on Gigi, they're going to have like half a season of film on him. Like once coaches have you key in on him, it's going to be up to him whether or not he fixes those parts of his game. And I think he's going to do it. This team has shown that they can develop guys the right way. Like I'm not worried about that. And I think he's got the skill. I think it's going to be, I think it was a few years ago we had that three-headed monster, Brandon Clark, Tyus, D'Anthony Melton that was on the bench. I think it could easily be Gigi, Vince, and maybe BC. I don't know. I think there's options where we could have a bench mob like we did in the years in the past when we made deep playoff runs. If he keeps on the path, I think we all hope he stays on.
Yeah. So I think there is going to be so much movement on this team in the offseason that I think discussing this team and what they look like now will be laughable, in my opinion, when we come to the start of the season next year. I really do think there's going to be some movement. I think there's going to be some shaking up of the roster for sure. And I think I think we'll look back at this and be like, wow, they literally are going for it.
Oh, so you think this is the off season where that happens, where they lift up the cover of the button that says go for it and they press it?
Yeah, I really do think this is the off season. And I know that they're at the right time where they can make that decision. They have the 9th pick in the NBA draft. They have a lot of pieces that other people want, but I do think that this team is not the best version of itself. With who they have on the roster, this is not the best version that they want to be at. And I think that tinkering with it a little bit it won't be a lot of moves. I think it'll be major moves that will adjust this roster to put around the players around one Ja Morant. And I think when you put around the right players around Ja, who is your best player, he's always going to be your best player, then I think that then this team will go forward, and you'll see next year that they made right decisions for sure.
Hell yeah. So I think we can both agree TJ McConnell's the ideal target. But other than that, who do you, if you like gun to your head, who's not on the team next year that's on the team this year?
Oh,
You said it's laughable. We like to laugh here. I want to laugh.
I have always said this from day one that Marcus Smart is great, but he's not a great pairing with Ja. I said that when they got him. He's just too small in a sense. He doesn't stretch the floor as much. He kind of needs the ball, but he's also kind of loose with the ball. If he was your backup point guard and they would figure out that rotation, I'm more okay with that. But and I'm fine with him closing games. It's just they don't pair up perfect. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw Marcus leave. I think you're going to see one of the young guys of either Zaire or Jake be gone. One of them, not both. And then I think that you're going to have to send somebody out that has trade value. And I think there has to be a guy like Santi Aldama, who I actually really, really am high on. I think that other people are high on him as well. And I think you can get sneaky good trade value. And I think you're going to have to trade him. And so those three guys are the main ones that I would target if I'm looking at who I would send out in my opinion. But that's just those three little things can bring you back a piece or a piece and a half. Plus, you have GG emerging. You could slide Vince into the starting rotation very easily next to Ja. I think he plays better. I think he'll play better with Ja for sure. But also, he's a guy who doesn't need the ball. He can be your defensive guy and muck it up a little bit. That's what I would look at if I'm looking at who I'm targeting to move on from for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I mean, Vince's growth and Vince's arrival, whatever you want to call it, has it rendered a lot of what Marcus does useless because he does it by fitting next to Ja better. I think that's a very good call. That's a conversation for another day, though. We're going to take a break, and when we get back, we are going to play a little game. And this one, I think you have the record for all these because, you play it safe, and I appreciate that. You don't try to answer questions you don't know. But we're going to play It's a Trap right after this break.
I'm just big on being able to vocalize what someone's role is. I always thought my best coaches were the people that let me know exactly what you expect from me. Now, I might not like it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. But if you come to me man to man to say, this is how we think we're gonna play you. Bang, 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 and hopefully everybody understand. I'm not saying that this has not been done with this team. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying from my experience, we all have egos when we get to this game. Right. All of us, to the last person on the bench, you got an ego, but all of us can't be the man. Yeah, you got to be able to say, okay, he's the man, but what do I do and what can I do to help us be good? And if it's vocalized to you, then you know exactly what. And if I'm out there doing it, and now I'm not getting the result from you, now we got to sit down and have another conversation. Mm-hmm. But as long as it is told to you, this is what we expect from you, this is how we want you to play, then I feel like, again, keeping his logo. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. All right, Christian.
Yes.
You are Penny Hardaway.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Today, you're going to play act, okay? Gabe, because you're a Jordan Brown apologist, you're going to be Jordan Brown.
I'm a Jordan Brown apologist. Okay.
Okay.
I'll take that.
Y'all are sitting across the room from each other.
I said, don't tweet him hate. And he's like, you're an apologist. Like, good God. But either way, continue. We're in a room together.
Why did things break down?
Jordan, we brought you in this year to be the centerpiece of our offense. You came in out of shape. Let's call it what it is. Call a spade a spade. We play fast. Told you this when we were recruiting you. We play fast. One of the fastest paces in the country. You have to be able to get up and down the floor. You have failed at that.
Oh, well, I'm leaving. So it's fine.
Cool.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Update on the cat fight. The dead cat is still dead. The cat that won is just staring at me, perched, and he's not moved for like 5 minutes. So if something happens soon, that cat will kill me. But welcome back to the Daily Grind. You can find that show, all our other shows, bluffcitymedia.co. Leave the M off because M is for murder. On Wednesdays, we play a game here. It is dedicated to our dear Admiral Akbar. Head, heart, whatever, I don't know, whatever they do in space admiralty. So we play a game called It's a Trap. Oh, there it is. It's a trap. I'm going to give you 20 questions. 10 are real, 10 are fake. You know how the game's played. You don't have to answer them correctly. You just have to tell me if it is real or if it's a trap. Today's theme, it is in honor of Memorial Day. It's this weekend. It's a nice weekend. I bet you're going to learn a lot about Memorial Day because I didn't know half this stuff, fake or otherwise. But are you ready, sir?
I'm ready. I'm excited.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. All right. What was the original name of Memorial Day and why was it Decoration Day?
Ooh, that's a trap.
Wow, you are off to a bad start. The original name was Decoration Day.
Okay.
No, it's okay. It's fine. You get there's 20 of these. You can catch up. Yeah. In what year did Memorial Day become an official federal holiday?
Yeah, that's real.
That's real.
That's real.
Yeah. All right. Which president declared Memorial Day as National Hot Dog Day in 1923?
That's a trap.
That's a trap. All right. You got this. You got this.
Right,
you got this. You got this. Yeah. See, it's trap. We're going to get this. You got this. Okay. What fictional flower is traditionally worn on Memorial Day to signify peace and prosperity?
Trap.
That is a trap.
Yes.
The hint in that was the word fictional.
I know.
Because that means fake. All right. In which mythical city was the first Memorial Day parade held?
It's a trap.
It is a trap. The hint there was mythical city. I would have accepted Atlantis as an answer, but it's neither here nor there. Okay. On what date was the first widely recognized observance of Memorial Day held?
Yeah, that was in 1442, and that is a real answer.
You're about 1442.
I don't know.
It's real, so I'm gonna give it to you. It's okay that you're a little off. Which war prompted the creation of Memorial Day?
That has to be real. World War I.
Close. Civil War.
Close.
I mean, it was, I don't know. You're the next one down the line. If you're going down the line of America, you were the next one. The seceding war is closer than World War II. Anyway, what is the name of the Memorial Day mascot that visits children to give them red, white, and blue candy?
That's a trap.
That is a trap. If someone does that to your child, run. On Memorial Day, it is customary to eat a special pie made from what imaginary fruit?
Imaginary is a key word, but you know who's not imaginary? Carlos Yates. Shout out. Go Grizzlies. That's a trap.
Yeah, shout out Carlos. It is a trap, though. He is not a trap, but we know it is a trap. The whatever berry pie. I'm not clever enough to think of a fake berry, but yes, it's our trap. All right. Who was the leader of the Organization for the Northern Civil War Veterans that called for the first nationwide Memorial Day?
That's a trap.
No, that's real.
Ah! You're stumbling. I thought it was a trap.
That's because I was like, wow, this one's a big. I was like, this is a real question, Luke. Some of these I'm like, wow, why did I get to these are good? Okay, here's the next one. So this one, let's say you've already answered it previously, but it was answered wrong. After which war was Memorial Day expanded to honor all Americans who died in military service, not just the Civil War?
That's a real question.
Yep. Don't just stop there. What did General James Garfield make a speech during the first Memorial Day ceremony?
That's real.
That is real. You know your history. Which historical figure is said to have started Memorial Day by decorating the armor of Roman gladiators with flowers?
Rome, gladiators doesn't do good in here in America, so I would say it's a trap.
You know what? That's bingo. Rome, gladiators, does not do good here. It's a trap. That's great. In the 1950s, which fictitious country declared Memorial Day as a national holiday in honor of the victory in the War of the Unicorns?
All right, so fictitious unicorns is probably a trap.
So you're right. It's probably a trap. I'm glad you said probably, because unicorns, it's neither confirmed nor denied if they're real or fake. Okay, two more left. What imaginary bird is released into the sky on Memorial Day to symbolize eternal vigilance?
That's the velociraptor, and that is a trap.
That is a trap. You know what? We don't even. You get bonus points for bringing in a dinosaur reference. We don't have to even finish because the next one was real. We're gonna just wash all this under. You know what? You win. You win because so far to this day, no one's brought up raptors, and that's the goal of the show. There's a secret rule that says if you bring raptors up, you win automatically. If you're listening, pay attention, guest. But yeah, you win, dude. Congratulations. You win this round of It's a Trap. How does it feel? I think you're our winner. Fish has the most wins, or Fish has the perfect score, but you've got the most wins total.
Okay. Listen, I'd like to just take this time to thank this guy right here, Mr. John Morant. He's been here with me this entire time, telling me the answer. He's like, "Hey, is it a trap?" And he's like, "Yep. Is it a real answer?" Yep. So this is my guy. So thanks, Ja. Little 12. Little 12.
Little 12. Man, you know what's good? I have a little 12 too, but mine doesn't bobble. So if I talk to it, it just stares back at me and I have existential dread. Shout out existential dread, but that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you for tuning in with me. Thank you, Daniel, for joining me. It was good to see you, sir. I will be back tomorrow. You will be back in 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, no, you got your guys' show today.
Yeah, today, Driving the Line, 9:00 coming up in 49 minutes. Driving the Line. Tune in.
Boom, Driving the Line. You can see him there. Jess Benson's on right now. Go catch her. Otherwise, I will see everybody tomorrow. Remember, be a little weird and smile.